Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Here is a little sneak peek of what we're going to create in just a second. Not so long ago, I did a video, I think it was end of March time, doing a little bit of like a haul slash swatch kind of video of the Glitterbels Unbelievable gels. These were actually gels I've had in my collection for a while, but they were ended up just getting chucked in the corner, not used, not looked at. I was mainly using the black and the white, but I had all these beautiful colors, so I thought, let me do a video, let me show you guys what we are all missing out on, including me, because they are honestly amazing. And I did a swatch video just to also kind of help me get inspired and actually see what kind of shades I have, as well as also sharing with you guys what I have. And then I thought to myself, shortly after that video, that I need to go ahead and do an actual whole nail design using them and showing you guys the colours in action. So I showed you guys them swatch what kind of colours I have. So hopefully if you watched that video and if you were kind of looking to get some, hopefully that helped you guys a little bit with the colours that they have and what to pick. I only have a very, very small collection compared to what they have. I literally remember being on their website and seeing them just a couple of colours, and these days they've got so many colours, and I'm so happy to see that. And I'll be definitely working to grow my collection because they are honestly, from the bottom of my heart, absolutely amazing to work with. And they you will probably just know, I don't even have to say how amazing they are because you always use the white and the black. That's just how amazing they are. I think I do have some sort of a discount code or some sort of a don't know whether it's like £5 off or something you order. So if you are looking to buy some and you are interested, make sure to use my link slash code, I'm not sure why I have in the description, to check them out because they are honestly amazing. So right now I'm just kind of tracing out what I'm going to do. So you almost kind of want to do these half French tip thing going on. The one nail there that we're going to work on now is going to have a line going down the center, and then the line that we did to mimic that French tip, we're going to do it on one side and then we're going to flip on the other. So you see in a moment what I mean by that. Hopefully I'm explaining it roughly well. So we've done the line. Now we're going to do that French tip little swirly little rounded thing. And then I flipped the nail around and I basically repeated it. And then I noticed, and then I had to wipe it off. And now we're going to do it again, but we're going to flip it around. That's what I needed to do. But it's actually quite hard to get that right. It just feels like I want to finish it off with a French tip rather than flipping the lines around. So the reason we're doing this is because it's just an outline for what we're going to do in a second. We're going to do a lot of colouring in and using those beautiful shades. So I need a little bit of an outline. So on these nails here, we're going to do little stripes of colour, and you can see how amazing these gels are. The colours are incredibly pigmented, and which is why they are incredibly amazing for nail art. They are very pigmented, so therefore you won't need to do 2 layers, which is something I often have to do when I do nail art. Things like a French tip, for example, I always have to do 2 layers. So using these gels will actually cut your time on just working on nails. You won't have to do 2 layers of anything. So when you're working on a client as well, rather than doing 2 layers of something just to get that color opaque and as vibrant as you want it, you don't have to do 2 layers anymore. You can just use these Unbelievable gels, just do 1 layer and they're good to go. These gels also cure tag free, so if you also wanted to play about, get a bit creative with some matte backgrounds and glossy artwork on top, which is actually what we're going to do in today's video a little bit, you can do that. They cure tag free, which is amazing. They do cure for 60 seconds in an LED lamp, so do make sure you do that. I always mention that, I always forget sometimes, and I undercure these. I sometimes pop them in for 30 seconds. Don't do that, make sure you do for 60 seconds for sure. So those 2 other nails that we just did have the lines one on one side, one on the other. Here we're going to do the yellow first, but yeah, so kind of going inwards. One at the top, one at the bottom, just colour it in. I don't think I show you guys me doing all of those, but it's very repetitive. You just keep doing it. I cure in between each colour just so I don't end up kind of getting them, blending them into one another. I want the lines to be fairly sharp. So once you are happy with the yellow, pop them into the lamp for 60 seconds. And then the next colour up next to the yellow, we're going to do that beautiful pink. So I forgot the names already, but I did show them at the beginning of the video, so I'm so sorry. But if you are wondering what they are, make sure you go back to the beginning of the video to see the names that I showed. But there we go, the nail is cured. So now it's time for that pink. So same thing, you just want to do a line next to it, colour it in, and we're doing the exact same thing on all those other 2 nails, I guess. 1 nail is going to be left just bare. That's because we're going to do some cute little flowers using those coloured unbelievable gels actually. So that's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna do. So in theory, you could get away with we could have actually matte top coated these straight away, but I wanted those lines to be matte actually, and then some additional work that we're going to do in just a second to be glossy on top. So there we go, the nails are done. We've done yellow, pink, blue, and then a purple. And now it's time to top coat these. So I'm using my Macart matte top coat, and the reason I'm using my Macart is because it works very well with the unbelievable gels. That's not to say other companies don't, but I have noticed that the Vanillisa company in particular just does not work very well with unbelievable gels. So when I try to do nail art work on top of it, it starts to kind of separate my gel, and it just, some weird stuff happens really. It just kind of starts basically separating the product from one another. So it's almost like it becomes very oily, and it's just a weird thing happens. So I noticed that when I use a different matte top coat, it works perfectly. So there's something about these two that don't like one another, so I can't use those. Sometimes I do end up forgetting, and you will see in the video, and then you can definitely see the separation happening. So there are a couple of videos where I've forgotten, or I was still kind of trying to understand what was happening, so I would have still used those. So now that it's cured, I'm going to go back in with that white and neaten up our line, crispen it up, and yeah, just go over the first initial little outline that we've done to help guide us while we want to place our gel colours. And you want to do that on all of those nails. So all of those, you need a white outline of where you've placed that first initial trace. Once again, make sure you cure these for 60 seconds. Always, always, always. And in a moment, we're going to do some flowers. I love flowers. This nail design in particular, I feel like is screaming absolute summer to me. Absolute summer. I'll make sure to also leave links in description, or at least the names down in the description for you guys to check the colors out. They do quite a lot of different like neon shades. They have a lot of neon shade actually. I would be so actually interested if they could do glow in the dark unbelievable gels. That would be so cool. I wonder if one day they will end up doing that, because I know you can get like polygel glow in the dark, acrylic I think that glows in the dark, but I wonder if you can get nail art gels that could actually work glow in the dark from like, yeah, Glitterbels. That'd be really cool. I'd definitely buy them anyways. So now that the nails are cured, I'm going in with that pink, and on this nail here we're going to do 3 petals on each side. We're going to connect it to that center. Later on we are going to place a crystal into that center, so you don't have to make it too perfect in the center there, but the trick is just do 3 dots, drag a line from the center of the dot, and then just connect the 2 sides of the circle to that line that you've created. I hope that makes sense. I hope you can kind of see that on the video. I feel like the pink is slightly blending with the background a little bit, so I'm so sorry about that. I didn't think that one through. But I hope you guys can still see what I'm doing there. So there's the lines that I've done, or doing anyways, and we're connecting the sides. It's literally my most favorite way of creating a flower, and I feel like they come up really cute looking, so I really like doing them. So that one's done basically. Later on we just have to place some crystals and job's done. So for these 2 nails that we've got there, that basically a beautiful reflection of one another, I'm going to do a couple of dots on the side. So on the other nail obviously it will be a reflection, so it'll be on the other side, and that will be the center of our flower that we're going to create. So do a couple of dots. I think I do end up curing it before actually doing the petals, just because as usual I don't really trust myself sometimes, and when I'm filming I don't want to wreck it and get it all wrong and have to redo everything. So I do definitely play a bit more safe than usual when we're filming, and I go ahead and cure it first. So there we go, dots are done, and you can tell I'm curing because then you see a little like it kind of cuts and goes to me doing the nail again, so you know I cured. So I'm going in with the purpley shade. It's like a very pale purple. I wish I had a bit more of a vibrant purple, a bit more like a pastel-y looking one, a bit more lively purple maybe is the better word to use, but this is unfortunately the only one I had. Glitterbels at some point were doing like a mystery box, so you could either pick a gel polish one or an acrylic one. I wish they were doing them again. And basically for half price of the products, you basically got a mystery box. So you got an unbelievable gel with a gel polish and maybe like a nail art brush, a file, and all that good stuff. So that was actually really worth it. So I did end up getting like a yellow and a green through that kind of little scheme that they were running. That was really fun. I wish they bring them back because it was so worth it. Obviously you are running the risk of getting shades, the same shades again, for example, if you do already have a wide collection of Glitterbels. But if you are a beginner, that was pretty fun because yeah, you could just get your hands on a couple of products that were much more reduced and cheaper basically than what they were selling them on the website. So that was cool. So for the other nail, I decided to switch up the colour. So we're going for that pale, well not pale, baby blue shade. Look how beautiful that baby blue is. So beautiful. And it's still baby blue, but it's like got like a life to it, if you know what I mean. Like it's definitely a bit more vibrant, not like a pastel-y kind of muted blue. It's a beautiful blue. Love it, love it, love it. So as usual, like I did on the other nails, I'm dragging out that line and then we're going to connect the sides to that line that we've created. So you want the thickest part of the petal to be at the top, and then the closer to the center of the flower you get, and the thinner the line you want. I hope that makes sense. So just connect those and then we can pop those into the lamp. And lastly, before we crack on to our crazy crystal placements, we are going to do a couple of flowers onto that just plain nude nail. So I really wanted to do more flowers clearly, so we're going to do a mixture of flowers. So at the top I'm going to start off with the purple shade, and I'm just doing 5 dots. So starting off with 1 at the top, 2 on the sides, and then 2 at the bottom. And then we're going to do a pink, then a yellow, then a blue, basically repeating this exact same process here, connecting them to the center. I'll go ahead and cure them, and after that we are going to go back in and add a little white dot in the center of the flower, just to give that little center of the flower back in there. You could alternatively maybe do like a crystal in the center, but I quite wanted to do a white dot. And then you can pop these into the lamp, and then we have a bunch of crystals to apply. I'm going to do a mixture of AB and opal crystals actually, and we're also going to incorporate some gold caviar beads, which I have not done, I think, ever. I might be wrong. If you can remember off the top of your head, let me know in the comments, but I don't think I've done a gold caviar bead placement before. I have had them forever, like ever, but gold caviar beads are just, don't know, gold is just not my thing. I prefer silver if anything. I feel the same with like jewelry. I prefer silver over gold. I have no idea why. I think it's just a random preference of mine. I just find the silver a bit more, don't know, nicer, I guess, for me anyways. So that's why I've just never picked them up, but we are going to use them today. So using my nail art brush, just like before, just connect them to the center. Just find your center, drag the lines, connect the little sides, and you're good to go. So this is fairly repetitive, fairly repetitive. And then I think I don't show you guys it all. I'm just going to pop those into the lamp, I think. Yep, I do. Okay, so they are done. And now I'm going in with that white, place in the center, just real quick, little dab, and then you've got your center. Pop those back into the lamp. So that's done now. Nail art itself done. Now it's time for the crystals. For that center nail there, I've already placed a fairly big chunky little circle AB crystal. And then this bit is going to take a little while. I know that you don't have to do it this way. I feel like you can get those gold little shapes that are like circles, so you can actually place that down and place just a crystal inside, but I don't have those. Actually, I went digging. I did go digging because I felt like I did, and I do have a couple of those gold shaped, like you can get what can you get, like I think you can get like feathers and shells with this gold, like colored plastic, I guess it is, or you can get the circles, you can get like triangles and different kind of things. With those, I don't think I've done a video before using them, but I do have a little container with different sizes and stuff, so I did think I might have one, but I didn't, so I had to go around the crystal with my caviar beads, which is just fine because I have plenty of those gold ones and I never use them, so at least I can use them this way. So once I'm happy and I went around it and I've kind of neatened up the circle, we are going to chuck a couple of those caviar beads on those lines that we did. So I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4, so we're doing 4 at the top and 4 at the bottom. And I'm using my Macart Rhinestone glue gel to glue them down. So I kind of dabbed the glue onto my nail and then placed the caviar bead into it. But I've noticed that some people like to kind of place some of that rhinestone glue gel on the side and then mix, kind of put a bunch of those caviar beads into that glue and like really cover them all fully up and then place them onto the nail. So I don't know if that's a good way of doing it or not. I don't know if the color on the caviar bead will change if you do that after curing. I'm not quite sure, but I have seen a couple of people do that before, so you can do that too, I guess. It's just not something I've done before. So for this flower nail, I'm placing an AB crystal at the top, then 2 opal crystal next to it, and we're just doing that tiara looking thing where The further away from the center you're getting, the smaller of a crystal you're using. Of course, same thing, caviar beads are going in between the crystals. Here I was clearly just impatient and I just tipped all of those onto my little mat because it was just quite difficult to actually pick up the caviar beads out of that container, just because the container wasn't that large and I had a bunch of those caviar beads in there and they were just kind of clumping together and I wasn't able to pick up just the one. And of course my brush has got a rhinestone glue gel on there, so when I tap a caviar bead and it's next to a couple, I end up picking up the couple of those, not just the one that I was going for. So it was actually so much easier tipping it onto my mat there. So that's fine. We are just gonna straighten up those lines, put the caviar beads where I need them, and then we can pop that one into the lamp. So we've got 2 more nails to go, or not actually, back to this one. In between those flowers, we're going to add some of those gold caviar beads as well, just like we did on the other nail. So just randomly scatter that rhinestone glue gel, place those caviar beads, and then we can finally move on to the last 2 nails, which are actually very repetitive, so I don't think I actually ended up including it in the video, so make sure you just stop the video in just a second to see what I did. But same thing, we're just going to place the crystals on the side of the nails and then put a couple of caviar beads where we've placed the line. So you see that in just a second. Pop them into the lamp and here we go. So here is the final result. I absolutely love how they came out. The unbelievable gels are just so vibrant, so beautiful to work with, and I just highly recommend them. So make sure you check out the description box because it will have all the links and the discount codes and everything that you need to go shopping. So I hope you guys liked the video. If you did, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I would love to see you all in my next video. Bye guys!